Okay, so my first question is, for people who know absolutely nothing about The Secret, what can you give the audience a brief explanation of what it is and what the lore behind it is?
Oh, well, for those who don't know what The Secret is, it's a treasure hunt book that was published by Bantam, created by Byron Preiss and a number of other people on his team. And it was put out late 81, early 82, I believe. And it's a book, tale, so to speak, of these mythical fair folk and their origins and why they came to the new country and why they buried their treasures here. And there are actual buried treasures in 12 different cities. 3 of them have been found. There's one here in Milwaukee, supposedly. And in the book, it gives you all the clues that you need to find and locate the burial spot for these fair folk treasure casks.
How long have you been studying the book?
I've been studying the book probably too long. I started picking it up in the early 2010s era, and I've been on it for over 10 years now, I know. I've done a full podcast on it, pretty influential and active in the online scene. It's been a long, long road.
Why do you think the author created The Secret?
I think Byron Preiss created The Secret because it was something he had in his head that he wanted to do. Since he died, we haven't really been able to get that much information on him, only through his friends. And he was a person who really loved helping kids. He loved helping kids read. He had a number of comic books and other books put out specifically geared towards helping people learn how to read and keeping them off drugs and keeping them in school. Byron Preiss was the first person to do a CD-ROM. He was the first person to use celebrity actors for voicing children's stories. So he had all kinds of ideas. He was a pioneer in video games early on. And he had a lot of really interesting and fun ideas. And I think this is just one of them that he had been working on in his head. I don't know where he drew the inspiration from, maybe from the 1970s Hunt Masquerade, which was very big over in the UK. But nobody really knows why he did it. We only know the follow-through of how he did it, or some of the follow-through of how he did it.
Could you explain just a little bit how the riddles and artwork within the book, how do they work together in finding the cask? What are some of just the things that help aid?
Sure. So the way the puzzle works is the book contains 12 images and 12 verses, along with some origin stories, a few maps, a few other things. But the important thing that people focus on are the images and the verses. And the instructions tell you that you match up one verse with one image, and those two together will lead you to the cask. And how they do that is there are hidden things inside the images that you'll actually see on the ground when you're out looking in the right spot. Sort of like Highlights magazine used to do the hidden picture puzzles, something like that. So you'll kind of find things like the lion over to my right over there. The face of the lion is in the image. City Hall, Milwaukee City Hall is in the image. And then you have verse clues like view the 3 stories of Mitchell, which could be any number of things. It could be Mitchell Hall down the block. It could be the Mitchell Mansion on 10th and Wisconsin. It could be the Mitchell Domes, which are 3 stories of their own and have a view monument, a little wordplay. So there's a number of things that it could be. The Juno statue in Juno Park down at the end of Wells Street, there's an image match in the bust or the relief on the side of the statue that corresponds to a line cast in copper, which is it's a bronze relief on the side of the statue. So the way it works is as you go along your path, you're kind of pairing up these things you see in person along with the verse instructions that get you there. And as you follow them through, it should take you to the exact spot where you need to be.
All right, awesome. That just went right into my next question was, what do we know about the cask that is presumably buried right here in Milwaukee? I mean, you were pretty much already answered that. So.
Yeah, the cask that's buried here in Milwaukee, we feel is right here in Lake Park. A lot of things lead to this location. There's a lot of image matches here. There's a lot of things that kind of point to it being in this park, this Frederick Law Olmsted Park. There is a connection that we have to adhere to in all of these puzzles, which is the immigration connection. So at the site of the treasure ground, there will be some kind of immigration connection. The immigration origin for this city is, of course, Germany. And the connection to Lake Park here is that I guess you could call him the grandfather of the park system, Christian Wahl, was very influential in saving this park, and he was influential in getting a lot of park. He was influential in a lot of the park system here in Milwaukee. Cut. This is where Gerda would be able to. You don't have to cut. I'm just saying. This is where Gerda would be able to come in and offer more on the history of the parks with Christian Wahl and that. Okay. So I'll pick up again. So we have this German connection to Lake Park, being that Christian Wahl is a German immigrant. So that's our connection to this park. There's seemingly no other German connections here. We couldn't find one with General Walcott. We couldn't find one with these lions, the lighthouse, anything else. But Christian Wahl did have a bust of his head over by the bistro, which has been moved now. And the street right over there behind us is Wall Avenue, of course.
How many casks are there, and how many have already been found? What is the 13th cask?
So there are 12 original casks buried in the game. 3 have been found. One was found, the first one in Chicago by Rob Robel and Eric Gasorowski and their friend Dave. That was unearthed in 1983, I believe. And then fast forward to 2004, Brian Zinn and Andy Abrams unearthed the cask in the Cleveland Cultural Gardens in 2004. And that was documented in the Cleveland Plain Dealer, if you want to look that up. And then just recently, 2019, the end of 2019, beginning of 2020, another find was reported in Boston, where Jason Krupat and his family were very studious in letting the construction workers tearing up a certain park know that there might be treasure buried there, and they indeed found it.
What are the casks? What are they made of?
Oh, wait. I got to continue. So we don't know how many actual casks are in existence, but there are 12 buried. Some of the creators of the book were given casks as a present at the completion of the book. The original cask that was made by Joellen Trilling, that was used for the mold for the other casks, which were cast in plaster, has been given to me, and I made a treasure hunt out of it, and that would be the 13th cask. So there is a treasure hunt going on right now for you to actually obtain the original cask that all the other 12 were made from. And you can find out information on that at kitpalankar.com.
The next question is, what are the casks? What are they made of, and what do they look like?
Well, it'd help to have the visual for this one, wouldn't it?
So you just describe it, and then
yeah, okay. The cask is a porcelain. How do I phrase this? Most of the casks are a plaster mold of this 4.5 to 5 inch tall ceramic container. Inside the container is a key, and that is what is used to turn in to get the gem for the prize. It also has a lid. The whole thing is about 5 to 6 inches tall by about 4 to 5 inches wide. And they're contained in plexiglass boxes, about a 1/4 inch thick plexiglass boxes, buried no more than 3 to 3.5 feet in the earth.
What value do they hold? Casks hold?
I think you have to consider the value of the cask, I guess, is as priceless or as worthless as the person having it is. I don't know that there's been a price put on any one of them. The only intact cask that still exists besides the 13th tribute cask that I know of is Rob Robel's cask. And I don't think anybody's ever got an appraisal or anything on them. I don't know what they're worth value-wise, but certainly to people who follow the hunt, they're priceless artifacts.
Byron's book really spark in popularity?
The Secret sparked in popularity most recently with the explosion of media from shows like Expedition Unknown and documentaries from James Renner, and the documentary from James Renner, and a lot of online frenzy that's been going on sparked from those things. It was mainly an underground thing all the way up to about 2004 when Brian Zinn and Andy found their casts, and then there was a slight increase in popularity there, but nothing like what's happened in the last 3 or 4 years.
Who would you say are some of the most active people within the community? For people starting out, who are like the main people that people could come in contact with?
You're going to run into a lot of characters on the scene. Certainly myself, Brian, Andy. There's a guy named Mark. There's a guy named Willhouse down in Houston who's also pretty active. Matt Sparks out in San Francisco. George Ward down in Florida runs a group. There's a wiki page. Rob Robel, the Chicago Finder, is certainly active. And some of the creators of the book are certainly active in the scene still. Ben Asen has been known to comment on things from time to time. Joellen Trilling is out there. But mainly you're going to run into people who are kind of putting out the media. People like George, myself, Willhouse. Christopher Preacher is another, he's kind of our historian, has a lot of information. But Quest for Treasure, if it's still up, there's some other websites, The 12, a few others. There's a Reddit forum. So there's a lot of online stuff, and you'll kind of run into this. You'll notice the same sort of characters commenting on the posts, and those are the well-known figures, so to speak. I've dropped out of it quite a bit for the last year, but obviously I'm here talking to you.
All right, this one's my next question's kind of long. So with the recent holiday live stream you did with the artist and many other people of the community, where did the treasure hunt really land in terms of where the hunt is headed? Is it almost over? Much more to go? What was that kind of like?
So the most recent live stream that I did, I do a holiday live stream. It's kind of an annual thing. Once every year around Thanksgiving, I round up all the troops, so to speak. Brian, Andy, Rob, Willhouse, Ben, Joellen, even John Palancar joined us. Kit Palancar as well, my co-creator in the 13th. And we all get together. It's sort of like a big office party, and we kind of discuss what's been going on throughout the year. We talk a little bit about The Secret. This year we had John Palancar on, and he was gracious enough to talk to us a bit. And by his own words, he said that probably some of these will never be found. I don't think the hunt will ever end, because I think people will continually be looking for things even if they're not there. So some of those that might have been dug up by a construction worker one time or just destroyed in some kind of remodel, people will still continue to look for those, even though they're long gone. So I think this thing will go on as long as there's interest in people who love solving treasure hunts.
How can hunters who are just starting off get into the journey of trying to solve the riddles and artwork within the book?
Well, it's a little complicated. The first thing you have to try to do is locate an original book. If you can't locate an original book, you'll have to talk to someone online who does have an original book, and you'll want to get some of the updated high-quality versions of the paintings, at least the ones that exist. The reprinting of the book was in such shoddy, terrible quality that it's very hard to actually complete any of the puzzle by using the images in that repress of the book. You really need to find an original, or you need to get the Oracle version and then download the pictures. That's where you got to start. You got to get the book. Then you have to read years and years of information of other people's work to find out what's already been discussed, talked about, dug, and all that stuff. Then you have to try and wrap your head around a puzzle that was made in 1981. Of course, a lot of changes happened in 40 years, so a lot of the things that you're looking for may not have been there in 81. So you have to get rooted in history of the city. I had to learn about the founders of Milwaukee. Are we good? I had to learn about the founders of Milwaukee, Kilburn, Walker, and Juno, to dissect some of the riddle here. And then I had to follow along 1981 history all throughout the city. What was here? What wasn't? Did this sign exist? Was this the name of this thing in 1981 or not? So there's a lot of history that you have to go through too. But it is a fun puzzle. There are times when I've stayed up 16 hours straight working on things, theories and writing content. And, the podcast took up a good year of my life, just trying to get all of the content that I had gathered put out there in some kind of format. It's a lot to take in. It's a big undertaking. Don't take it on as just a small hobby. It'll frustrate you.
Is there anyone, this is kind of off topic here, but is there anyone that you have worked with the parks in trying to get permits or having the parks allow you or the hunters to dig?
Sure. So one of the things that has come up in recent history is the fact that a lot of the park systems do not want people digging holes in their parks. Some of the park systems are very gracious. San Francisco has dedicated a whole section of their park rangers, and they call them treasure rangers, and they'll actually help you go out and try and find the cast that's suspected to be buried in San Francisco. I think you pay a small fee, and that covers the time of the treasure rangers and the equipment and everything, and they'll actually dig the hole for you if you want them to. Now, other sites are not so amenable to this. Milwaukee being one of them. I know there's been a park ranger that's been trying to contact me for a while on the Outer Banks about some digging that's been going on out there. They're pretty unhappy with that. Milwaukee Parks is outwardly hostile towards people who want to dig in this park. There is a permitting system, and I've been through it. You can get a right of entry permit to come in and extract this from the park if you believe you know where it is, but it is costly. And at the end of the day, you don't get to keep the casks. The Milwaukee Park System demands that they keep it. So there's a lot of roadblocks in place that weren't there in 1981. And in John Palancar's words, I think if Byron were still alive, he'd maybe be getting into some trouble because he says he thinks he would be egging people on to go dig. But yeah, so in San Francisco, they're very friendly towards it. Other cities, not so much. The Fountain of Youth in St. Augustine, Florida, where one of the casks is supposedly buried, they're somewhat open to people coming in and exploring. John, the owner of Fountain of Youth, kind of wants it found so that there's no more unauthorized digging. And that seems to be the big problem in a lot of these areas is people will come and dig holes. There's many holes in this park that were dug and just left open, not filled in. Before any of this drama went down, I probably dug 30 or 40 holes in this park, but we always filled them in. So there was, you have to be respectful, and the disrespectful people is what's sort of caused this to happen.
And that was pretty much all my questions. So if you think there's anything that I may have missed that might be worth covering to help the story.
Yeah. Did you, are you going to go through the verse? Or are you just going to leave it kind of vague?
I might just kind of show the verse, and then while you're talking about it.
So let me give you a little bit of this on the verse. And I'm going to use my phone. So since it'll be a voiceover, I got to find the verse. So I'm going to go through these verse lines, and I'll just give you a little bit of a sort of a synopsis. Quick elevator speech on each line, so to speak. View the three stories of Mitchell. Of course, we discussed earlier that this could be the Mitchell Mansion, it could be Mitchell Hall here down on Kenwood, and it could be the Mitchell Domes. As you walk the beating of the world, the second line, there was a Japanese hint referring to look for drum in the dictionary to solve this one. At a distance in time, we had solved this as Second or Second Street. From three who live there. Again, this could be the three beer barons. This could be Walker, Juno, and Kilbourne. This could be the three Mitchell brothers who may have lived in Mitchell Hall while they went to school there. At a distance in space, we solved this as light, but we couldn't find a way to apply it. From woman with harpsichord, this was solved as a self-portrait of a woman named Marietta Robusti. And of course, we know Marietta is the street that is 1 block away from Lake Park as you come down Kenwood from Mitchell Hall. Silently playing could be a reference to the picture It also could be a reference to the golf course at Lake Park when you enter. Step on nature, that was solved as stepping on the oak leaf trail, which at the time was called the 76 trail, but the oak leaf was always the symbol on the signs to represent that. Cast in copper, as we said before, would be the bust of Juno, or would be the relief on the Juno statue, or some people feel it's Lincoln Memorial Drive, as that's cast in the back of a penny. Some people feel it would be Lincoln Memorial Drive, as the Lincoln Memorial is cast on the back of a 1 cent. Boy, I suck today. Cast in copper was also referred to as Lincoln Memorial Drive, being that the copper penny has the Lincoln Memorial cast on the back of it. Ascend the 92 steps. Of course, we know that the grand staircase at Lake Park has 92 steps exactly. After climbing the grand 200, again a reference to the grand staircase, and 200 degrees on a compass sends you off towards Walcott and the Lions Bridges and the North Point Lighthouse. Past the compass and reach, again the compass, a word play on the North Point Lighthouse. The lighthouse. Past the compass and reach, again a word play on the North Point Lighthouse, as the compass always points north. The foot of the culvert, that would be the Lions Bridge ravine. Below the bridge, again, another reference to the Lions Bridge, which you're at when you get to the lighthouse. Walk 100 paces southeast over rock and soil. That would have been the South Ravine Trail, which at the time was just a washout of rocks and soil. There was no sculpted path that was like there is now down there. To the first young birch, this seems to be a point of contention. We didn't find a whole lot of birch trees along this path, but the very first penny, the U.S. penny, was the John Birch penny. Past 3 staying west. This part, some people feel it's the par 3 golf course in Lake Park. Some people feel that it's a set of numbers on the Lions Bridges. Some people feel that it's a set of 3 symbols on the north end of the Erastus Walcott Monument. You'll see a letter from the country. Of course, there's 3 letters on the south end of the Walcott Monument. Of Wonderstone's hearth, the whole Walcott Monument porch is shaped like a fireplace hearth. On a proud tall fifth, that seems to refer to one of these 8 lions that we're standing around here now. At its southern foot, the treasure waits. So it's the southern foot of something, a lion, Walcott, who knows?
That was fun. Yes.
That's exactly where the cask is.
Yeah, dude, for real. We should have more like babies try to solve this thing. I bet it would be better. I bet it would work.
Yeah, man. I love when people make posts about how like they just give their kid the book and they're just like, solve this puzzle, and then the kids worked on it, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. That's good parenting right there.
We should do more like Sunday fun days with kids. Like I remember I did the one with Jason, and he was just like, "Well, that's St. Augustine's fort."
Nah. That's cute. Yeah, we totally should do a kids edition.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It'd be cool if Byron was still around. I wonder if he would have done like a junior edition of The Secret. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's like just like it's the pictures would be super cartoony and shit. Like he'd get Bill Watterson or something to do it.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be awesome.
It was like the adults are too stupid to figure it out. Let's give it to the kids.
Yeah, we'll give it to the kids. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. Oh well. Well, that was John's final interview from PBS, which is done by a dude named Xander Kling.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he like runs some news division or something now, but back then he was like in college or in high school or something and working for PBS. They had like a whole special on The Secret Milwaukee on PBS once.
That's super cool. I don't think I've
Yeah,
ever
not
seen
too
that.
many people. Yeah, not too many people looked at it. I thought it was weird.
Hmm.
I can find it, I guess. Post it again.
Do you think JM had it?
Do I think JM had what? Like that thing, that it factor? Sure.
No, I mean, like, did he have Milwaukee figured out?
No.
No.
I mean, well, I don't think any of us do. Like, I
No.
think he worked really hard and he had a lot of stuff figured out, but he dug a lot of holes and didn't find anything.
Yeah, that's true.
So you really can't say he had it figured out.
No, that's very
I
true.
think he was closer than anybody else, especially like when he was actually searching, like before Expedition Unknown came along, and like there was this influx of people, because he never really changed his spot.
Right.
You know, he was always like, it's right here, and here's why. And then the more stuff came out, the more like Expedition Unknown filmed, and John started talking, the more like John shit started getting confirmed, more or less.
Right. Right.
You know. So, was he close? Probably.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I never understood about Milwaukee people is everybody stops at those lions, but the verse keeps going, right? And people jump over backwards trying to figure out a way to like, you gotta fucking rearrange the verse, or you gotta take these lines, or this is all filler, or whatever, to ignore the fact that the verse keeps going. But it does.
And like that one has to be the longest. Next to New York, it's the longest verse, is it not?
I don't know. Off the top of my head, I don't want to say yes, and then somebody be like, well, "This one's longer."
Yeah, no. Absolutely.
But that's what I never liked about John's stuff. Right? John's stuff was really, really concise and very exact until he got to those lions, and then he was like, "Yeah, the verse keeps going," and then you basically do a big fucking circle. Like you go under the lines and you go around and you got to come back up and you got to go back up through the whole damn thing again and end up at the lions again. And it's just like, no, man, if it's concise and it's exact up until a specific point, it's going to continue to be concise and exact.
Yeah.
Like
the rest
just
of the way.
keep doing what it tells you to do.
Yeah, 100%.
But, you know, that's just like my opinion.
Yeah. Do we got lots of viewers yet?
I don't know, like 30 or 40, something
cool.
like that. Yeah.
Good.
So
Hang on one sec.
here we go. Okay.
Sorry. Okay, I'm back. We're going inside now.
Yay!
Yay.
It's nice to be inside. I've spent like the last
Connor.
week outside.
Yeah. Come on. Oh, apparently Remy's staying outside.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyways, come on, Remy. I'm sorry. I wish I didn't have to babysit right now. Well, not babysit, but like I said, I'm distracted. No, enough. Come on.
Paula says the video is not showing as live yet on Facebook, but like 90% of our comments are coming from Facebook, so I'm assuming it's showing as live somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're staying outside. Well. So, Sunday, fun day.
Yeah.
Lots of race cars today.
This is the last one I've got to do for a while. Like, nobody has set another one up.
Oh, yeah.
I think people just assume that I'm just going to keep doing them with nothing to talk about, but I was for real. Like, if you guys want Sunday fun days, somebody's got to come on and talk.
Yeah, watch your fingers. Yeah, for sure. Can't just fill air.
Yeah, I think the next one's in, like, July.
Oh, wow. Is that, that's post-Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, because it's broken, so it doesn't close.
A bunch of people in Houston want to get together and do like a walkthrough of Herman Park, and then there's a lady and a guy who wants to do a walkthrough of Lake Park in Milwaukee. I don't think they realize how bad cell service is there though. Like I'm worried about that because like I can't. I've never been able to get cell service in that park, so any kind of walkthrough is going to be difficult. Well, you know,
right? Yeah. Well, you could do like a pre-recorded kind of thing, and then you know. But just to be able to communicate with them would be tricky if the cell service is bad. Even if you did a pre-record.
Stan Miller wants to know if you're going to Montreal this year.
I'm trying to for Canada Day, yeah. Remington, enough.
That's nice.
Yeah, Canada Day is a really good time to go and dig, because the police will be definitely, it's going to be really crowded in that city. Like, there's going to be a lot of people and everybody's occupied, so it'll be easy to just throw on a Vizzy vest and go dig a hole.
All right.
I've got 2 spots I'm going to check, and that are not Mount Stephen Club. Ooh. And we'll see what happens.
All right. Well,
Just, you know, secretly, like, I'm still working on this stuff behind the scenes, right? And like, I might not be super prevalent in the community right now, but I'm still working on this stuff, right?
yeah.
So
I think that's the way most of the, especially like the old hunters, people are always like, I miss Matt Sparks. Like, he's still around. He's just not talking.
he's just not talking to any of you, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm like, even just to go there. I've been to Gatineau, Quebec, and stuff like that, but I've never been to Montreal. And like, even despite the treasure, I still want to go and check the city out.
Yeah.
Because it is like one of our country's most historic cities, and I've never been there.
So, me and Rachel were talking about something with you. Every year, our family has, like, fucking chat's right in my face. Hang on. Every year, my family has like a Searchers Thanksgiving party where just a bunch of people come to my house for Thanksgiving and we cook like a big fucking meal and stuff.
Cool.
And not this year because it's too soon, but next year we want to have you and your family come down.
Sure, that'd be awesome. We'd love to.
It's like a more than a year away, so it's plenty of time for you to save up money, plenty of time for us to save up money. We figured we'd take your kids to Disneyland or something.
Ooh, that'd be
Disney
fun.
World. Is it Disney World?
Actually, you know what's kind of cool about that is that Kim actually has family in Orlando.
Yeah, we figured that was a good, you know.
So, Orlando's not real far from you, is it?
No, it's like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's like a drive to Edmonton for us. Remington, you cannot sit on my lap right now. I'm sorry. This child. But no, that'd be awesome. And then I think one day, like, you guys should come fly up here, and I'll make you all dinner sometime or something.
Yeah. I think somebody gave us money again. I wish people would do that. Oh, your video went out. They asked if there was an Irish immigration tie to the Chicago puzzle. Well, I mean, kinda. Like, I think people get too tied up on the immigration thing where it's not as steadfast as it needs to be. Like, I don't think that because, like, Boston, they have an Italian connection, but only in that it was in the, the North End, right?
Yeah.
And Chicago, yeah, they've got the Irish connection because they've got the big fucking St. Paddy's Day huge festival thing that runs right alongside of the park where they dye the whole park. I mean, people try to make it like Grant was an Irish Scottish immigrant or whatever, but that seems a little looser than, Chicago being known for dyeing their fucking river green.
Yeah, I've said that lots for a long time, that the immigration reference is nowhere near as important as a lot of people want it to be, right? Like, you don't have to dig in as deep as you think you do, right? Like, if the guy in image 9 is John MacDonald, that's basically as far as you need to go, because John MacDonald is a symbol for Canada, right?
Yeah. I mean, it goes just like in Cleveland, right? Cleveland was the Greek puzzle. It was in the Greek Cultural Gardens, but the Greek Cultural Gardens have no tie to Greeks other than the name, right? Like, Greek immigrants. It has no tie to Greek history. No. Nothing. It's just the name. So I think, like, surface level immigration reference is fine,
Yeah. Like, you didn't need to know Paul Revere's whole story to know that whole bit, right? Like,
yeah. It wasn't like you didn't even absolutely have to know it. It was just like little tidbits would have been helpful.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, but like, what the hell in Herman Park is, Persian?
Yeah.
What the hell in Houston is Persian?
Yeah.
Nothing. Find something that's kind of, I don't know. That's just my opinion. Who knows? Anyway. So we're here. It's Sunday. I've been working my ass off all week.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I like cleaned and organized my garage. All of my
nice.
tools and everything's clean and put away.
Very nice.
I guess. Your daughter's turning into Michael Jackson. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's definitely.
She's gonna beat it.
She's
Beat
what?
it.
Yeah, she's talking a lot. Her favorite song is Wheels on the Bus, and especially the part about the horn going beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
She likes that part.
Those things go round and round, man.
All through the town, I'm told.
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Nicholas Canuck wants me to get my Jeep running. I ordered all the
Yeah,
gaskets today.
With the hood shovel.
Yeah, I bought an upgraded hood shovel attachment thing so I can carry 2 shovels now.
Nice.
Yeah, because one shovel, like, it was useful for me, but it was not useful when people were like, George, do you want to come out and dig? Because people wouldn't bring a fucking shovel.
Because nobody's bringing the shovel.
Yeah, so now I can put 2.
That's good. Or you could even have like a probe and a shovel.
Yeah, no, well, yeah, probe goes under the seat.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Jeeps have a lot of little, like, nooks and crannies to hide big-ass tools.
Yes, they do.
Jim refuses to clean his garage. Mine's nice. George, have you worked on the police car any with Jason since the meetup? Yeah, I cleaned it out and opened the hood, and that's as far as I've gotten. I gotta find the keys.
Hey.
It's Canuck.
Hello.
Anyway, what are we talking about today? This was
Well,
your
I think
idea.
we were going to talk about Blue Sage. Finally.
Oh, we're gonna
We've
go
never
on the
talked about
secret
that.
and talk about a different puzzle.
No, we don't have to do that.
No, it's fine. I'm just sorry, messing with you. I forgot.
Oh,
YouTube's got new monetization things where you can't cuss. It's hard.
Well, that's good to know.
I mean, you can't do it a lot. Like, you can a little. You have to stay like R-rated or PG-13.
Right.
And what order did JJP paint the paintings?
1 to 12.
1 to 12, yeah, in that order. One at a time.
One at a time, that's right.
You probably didn't paint them one at a time. It's just weird.
Yeah, that'd be a tricky one to work out, man. That'd be a hell of a schedule.
I'm learning, man, with the anniversary hunt that Arthur did. Like, I don't know. Like, just looking at how people interpret stuff, I don't know how anybody's figured out half of the stuff in John's paintings.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that one's going pretty strong.
It's fun.
That's stupid. Yeah.
People like it.
Totally.
I'm finding, like, my history is coming back to bite me in the ass because people are like trying to get in my head, so they're like trolling my old Facebook posts and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, did I really say that? Oops.
Yeah.
Please don't blame me. It was 12 years ago.
Yeah. Cancel culture in a whole new form.
Yeah. Oh well.
I hope you didn't make no tweets.
I kind of would enjoy getting canceled. I think it would be nice. less stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so what the hell is Blue Sage? I don't even really like. I've seen it, but I don't really know.
Well, you're in the group. I know you don't really actively participate at all, but
I
it
don't
doesn't
have
seem like
time.
many people do. But, yes, I know. No, it's just a puzzle group that I started, and it's a lot of fun. Arthur was involved for a little bit. I've had a few different people come in and work on it with me, and I just number 7 just dropped at the start of the month, and I was really excited about it. So I finally wanted to kind of talk about it with the community.
Oh, so where is it buried?
Well, this particular number 7 is different from all the others because there is no, it's not a location-based puzzle, right? Like The Secret or any of the previous 6 Blue Sage puzzles. It's interesting because like when you open a jigsaw puzzle, for instance, and you drop the box on the table or all the pieces, like you see the pieces in front of you and you know what you're supposed to use to solve it and put it together. But with this particular one, number 7, I did it really different where you have to figure out what the pieces are, and then once you put them together, you'll know what to do with them. Right?
Gotcha.
And it's a video-based puzzle rather than like I do all the artwork for them, like I paint the images or whatever, and people work off of that. But this time around, I've gotten into videography a little bit, and that's kind of what I'm doing now.
It's easy to hide shit in videos.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, actually. Yeah, it's totally fun. And like the group is private, but you can, and I used to have to be invite only. Excuse me, I'm talking. It used to be invite only, and now I've opened it up a bit because I want more people to join, and work on them. But you still have to ask to get in, and just like the secret groups, if you don't answer the questions, you don't get in, and what have you. But
Brian Mills says he's waiting on his former winnings.
I know, and it is in a package about to be mailed, finally.
What did he win?
The prize for the original 6 for the previous 6 were the painting, like the artwork that I did, and then a couple other things. The prize for this one is a little bit different, and I actually haven't even revealed it yet.
Oh.
But part of the prize for this one is you get to help me make the next one, right? Help me make 8. And the way I'm going to do that is leave it up to. I'm going to leave it up to the winner to decide how and what we do, but we'll just do it within some parameters set by the Blue Sage Puzzle Company. And Jesus, this kid is driving me crazy.
It's fun, man. Kids are awesome.
Oh, I know.
Hi.
She's crazy. Maverick and Kim just pulled up in Kim's old truck. You should see this thing. Hang on.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. We're going to show everybody in the community Kim's nice truck. Let me just... How do I flip my camera around?
Did you get like a new truck, or is it like an old cool truck?
No, it's old. It's like a 72. Here, I'll just do this.
Nice.
Well, yeah, hang on. So there's Kim's van and my SUV, and then here's Kim's super old truck.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's got cranks.
It's very nice, and it's got the gear shifter in the middle on the floor.
Sweet.
And there's Kim. Say hi to the community, Kim.
Leave me alone.
That's Kim's nice fancy truck. So she just brought it home because we use it for dump runs.
I like it. Where'd she get the truck? Like, did you just buy it?
No, she inherited it from her dad. Used to be his. He bought it off the lot in '72, and they've had it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah, it's loud and it's fun to drive around in.
I bet.
And it only has lap belts. It does not have a shoulder strap seat belt.
No. Yeah, that's like the Buick that I've got. When Jason first got in it, he's like, "Where's the seatbelts?" And I was like, "This doesn't have anything resembling seatbelts." I was like, "This is a death trap."
There's no seatbelts here.
Like, if you get in a wreck, you're just gonna fly through the windshield. And trust me, that's what you want to do in this car.
That's what you want. Yeah, 100%.
Like when I inherited a car from my grandfather. It's still in South Carolina because I haven't brought it down here yet. But it's a 65 Comet Caliente convertible. And it's got like these slick ass vinyl seats. When you get in it and you take a turn, you slide across the car. Like if that car were to ever flip, you would just die. Like that's all you're just gonna die.
That's hilarious.
So
yeah, old vehicles. My dad's got on his yard right now. He's got a 31 International that he's getting redone, rebuilt.
Yeah.
You got to put it in to kind of restore it. That's the word I was looking for, was restore it. But yeah, nice old truck. My grandfather, like his dad, used to do car shows and shit all the time. He had all these nice old cars. I don't know what they are, but they're all from like the 20s and 30s, like really old vehicles and stuff, and won lots of medals with them and things like that.
Yeah. I feel like most men have to have like an old junk car that they're I'm restoring this, but really it just sits around. Car. Yeah. I have no time to touch the project car. Like I bought the Buick 5 or 6 years ago, and I haven't done a
Right.
thing to it.
Can you do the code for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
Yeah.
Because it's on.
Yeah.
But can you just do the
Wait,
code?
everybody, we have to do the code for Super Smash Brothers. Let's
Yes.
do the code. Come on, Dad.
I'm doing it. I'm just waiting for his thing to kick on.
Do the code.
We're watching. Do you remember that game Codebreaker back in the day? Like that board game with the pegs? You ever see that?
No.
No? So it's really cool. Like I actually bought a copy of it a little while ago because you're outside. You got to be inside. I bought a copy of it a little while ago. The game came out in like the 60s or something like that. But what it is it's this long board with a bunch of holes in it. And the guy creating the code has a little drawer that he can flip up and down. And there's 5 holes in there. And you have different colored pegs and you put them in a certain order in there. And then the person has to guess what your code is, like what order they're in, right? And then and you get X amount of tries to do it, kind of thing. It's a lot of fun.
I thought about there was a game that came out. It was by Doogie Howser. What's Doogie Howser's name?
Oh fuck!
I keep wanting to say Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I know it's not that.
No, it's Neil Harris. Neil
Patrick Harris. Yeah.
Yes.
He came out with this like puzzle game. 13 rooms or something. 13 something. And I bought it and I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is sweet because it's like a card game with a progressive puzzle. Like you have to solve card number 1 in order to solve card number 2 in order to solve card number 3.
Oh.
And I thought it would be cool to do like on a live stream with like community help. But I just never did it. Like I bought it and it's just sitting in the dining room waiting for a board day when I want to do a Sunday fun day.
Yeah. There's actually a game I think somebody in the community posted about it a month or so ago, but there's a game that you can buy that it's like a whodunit kind of game, but it's card based, I think. And there's 3 or 4 different types. And I actually have one saved in my cart on Amazon. I'd have to look at it someday, but it looks like a lot of fun and kind of the same idea, right? Like the first set the first cards you use will get you answers for the rest of them sort of thing. And it looked really, really interesting. But they have one that's like takes place at a what do they call those, kind of like masquerade ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're at this masquerade ball and I think there's a murder or something you got to figure out, and there's one from a ballet dancer and I can't remember the other ones, but they look really cool. They're like fun little mystery things.
Rachel Malley's making fun of me. She's like, Doogie Howser MD showing our age. That was in the 90s, wasn't it? Like, that wasn't
Yeah, that was 90s.
long ago.
No.
It's like 30 years ago. It's not like I was like, you remember McClintock?
Most people now know him because of How I Met Your Mother, right?
Car 54, where are you? This is shit from when Matt was in his middle ages.
No, that's the Middle Ages, wasn't it?
Hello, Wilbur. You know what I miss? I miss Nick at Night. Did you guys have Nick at Night?
Yes, Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah, but Nick at Night was like, Nickelodeon would turn off, like cartoons and stuff would turn off at like 10 o'clock at night, and they would play 50s shows. They would play like My Three Sons and Dennis the Menace and shit. Yeah,
Gomer Pyle
I
and shit.
Love that. Yeah. But it was like one day when they would just play westerns, and I hated it. Like it was Gunsmoke for 12 hours or whatever.
Westerns are good, man. The best one you should watch sometime is called Johnny Guitar. It's got Joan Crawford in it. It's my favorite Western of all time. Yeah, it's super good.
It just reminded me of USA Up All Night. Did you ever watch that?
No.
That was when I was like a little kid, and it was almost like USA Up All Night was like softcore porn that was edited to where it was okay for TV, and it was hosted by this chick named Rhonda Shear. It was the greatest. Like I'll have to find some bumpers for you. It was hilarious.
We used to have like we had Super Channel back in the day, the original Super Channel, and they always played between like 12 midnight and 2 in the morning. They always had softcore smut. And then we had like TBS for a long time, Channel 25, which was like all movies, like action movies and shit all the time. They would run like James Bond marathons for a week, and they'd run like Conan, like watch all the Conan movies and stuff, or Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff all day. Like that was just kind of their shtick. And then they got bought by a company in the States called TNT. And I don't know if TNT still exists anymore, but they became like a motorsports channel for a while.
TNT was like Turner News. No, that was TNN, Turner News Network.
Yeah.
People are talking. So we got to tie this back to The Secret. Did you know somebody mentioned Lassie? Did you know that Lassie was featured the Fountain of Youth in the 70s? And it was my go-to example when people ask how could Byron sneak into the Fountain of Youth in the 80s. My go-to answer is always watch the episode of Lassie in the Fountain of Youth, because they drive past the wall at the Fountain of Youth and it's just fucking, there's no wall. It's just open. You just walk right in. And then they show a picture of this old fountain that they say is the Fountain of Youth, but it's not. It's actually a cute scene. Lassie walks up to this fountain and she drinks out of it, and then they cut to a puppy walking away. It's really cute. But they call that the Fountain of Youth, but it's not. But it's the fountain that Brian Zinn was always interested in, out towards the end of the property, so people can see it. I have to find that episode of Lassie and post it. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, that'd make for good geographic information. It's neat seeing shit like that. When you watch a movie or something that took place in the 70s or something like that, and you can see parts anything that looks like, what you would be looking for in The Secret, right?
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch because NASCAR is racing in Chicago this year, and turn 10 is the road that goes next to Grant Park, where the cask is. They turn right at that corner, where the cask was there.
Rob Robel said he's got some sort of view of the entire race. I guess he's he knows one of the buildings that's above or something, and you can just sit there and watch it, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Street races are for NASCAR, they're kind of dumb because the cars are so big, but it's neat, and the fact that it's going by Grant Park is even cooler.
Yeah, but yeah, old shows are great for stuff like Dirty Harry. The entire opening scene was filmed in Chinatown in San Francisco.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
And then there was one cop show, I can't remember the name of it, where it was 6 seasons long in San Francisco in the 70s, and the Transamerica Tower was their police station. So every scene of them coming out of the police station, there's a shot of Chinatown.
That's cool.
That's an underutilized tool, is old TV shows,
100%.
old filming. The Streets of San Francisco, Paula Broussard says. That's probably it.
I guess, too, I should talk about it. A little while ago, I teased a little bit. I have a Montreal episode of Cole's Corner coming up. And I want to get that out before I go to Montreal and do the things, because the things I'm going to do in Montreal when I get there are a little different than what I'm talking about on the thing, on Cole's Corner. Basically, what I'm doing with that is explaining my Montreal theory for Mount Stephen Club. But when I go to Montreal and I do all the things, I'm going to document the whole bit and film a bunch of it and turn that into an episode itself. So I'm excited about that. I'm trying to get, I would love to be able to get a consistent video walkthrough of places or of dig spots or anything like that. You know what I mean? I would like to try and encourage something like that with the group where, everyone films their hunts, their searches, you know what I mean? Because even if they don't find stuff, it's still really fun to watch, and maybe you'll see something there that they didn't even know they were looking for or something like that, right? It'd be really cool to get that sort of thing going, right?
That's something Milwaukee doesn't have. Milwaukee's never had anybody that would do a walkthrough. I bet Rebecca would help you with that.
Oh, for sure she would. And we've actually talked about it a couple of times, I think, too. But I want to do kind of how we did with Debbie in Milwaukee a month or so ago, right? Do something like that in Montreal. I really enjoyed the original Milwaukee podcast episode was to me the kind of skeleton of that, right? Because they had what was that guy's name that did the walkthrough there? Saville, yeah. He literally was walking the steps that JM was talking about and stuff. And, it'd be really sweet to get something like that going again.
That was a fun, just to record, because I think a whole bunch of the shit was cut out. I can't remember the episode because it was so long ago. I can't remember what was released. But, he met up with a couple of guys. He thought he was in, there was a point where he thought he was going to be in danger. There was a part where he thought cops were actually looking for him. And then there was 20 minutes where we were talking. There's this big statue of Henry Winkler down in Milwaukee, and there was a part where there was 20 minutes of where we were talking about how Henry Winkler's crotch is polished from all the people so we were making crotch jokes about Henry Winkler. 20 minutes. It was hilarious. That was fun because that thing it only lasted an hour, but it took us 4 or 5 hours to record it.
Right. Yeah. No, that was that. I think that was a really cool thing to do because it kind of shows the process of the hunt, right? Like not even if you like, even taking away the image in the verse and all that kind of stuff, it shows what it looks like to go out and hunt for these things. You know what I mean? And I think that's really cool. Like right now, what it looks like is sitting in front of a computer or your cell phone on Google Maps and shit. And, you know, to me, that's not what this puzzle was supposed to be like. And, you know, so.
The bull's nuts on Wall Street are super shiny. That's true.
There's actually a statue in Japan of it's like this body laying on the ground, and it's apparently a fertility statue of some kind. And it too has a very polished crotch because people will go onto it and like rub it or sit on it and what have you. And
it's not people. It's just me. It's just me over and over.
Black
Sorry.
Statue and the crotch is like completely silver because it's all polished up.
Well, that's just me. Sorry.
That's weird. And we got to talk about San Francisco more. Less people, so many few. Like when I first joined the group, man, friggin' San Francisco was like the place to talk about. Now it seems nobody's talking about it, and like it sucks too because Chris Woodford and them guys were on such a like they were onto something. I think when they were talking about the whole the Unity deal and like their like the months thing that they went through, right? Like John Hardapy and Chris and Phil, I guess. They were really onto something, and it seems like the conversation around that puzzle sort of stopped almost after that.
Well, it's not. I don't think the conversation stops. Like it goes in waves, right? You get new people in, and some of the people get really good ideas, and then those people want to talk about those ideas, and then those ideas expand and become sort of fruitful, and those people start searching for a cask, and that's when they shut up, because those people with good ideas are actually applying their good ideas. So there's that long period where you have to wait for new people to come in and get some better ideas who are willing to talk about it again. So
that's right.
It's weird. Like if you watch The Secret for long enough, you notice patterns like that. Like there's a lot of progress being done, but right now people are just they're working on their stuff and they're just shutting up about it.
Yeah.
Marge Lamo. Oh, God, I'm so bad.
Marge Lamoureux.
Lamoureux, yeah, she's the one that wants to do a walkthrough of Lake Park. So we have to.
Oh, okay. Up. She's a sweet lady.
Yes, very sweet. I owe her.
I sent her. Go ahead.
I owe her a present. It's sitting on. It's still like I messaged her like a month ago, and I was like, "Hey, I have something for you. I bought it for you for Christmas, and it's still sitting in my entryway." And guess what? It's still sitting in my entryway.
Were you her Secret Santa?
No, she didn't get a Secret Santa, and I think somebody either stiffed her or she didn't sign up. It was one of the two, but I was just like, I'll send you something, because on a live stream she mentioned she wanted something, and I was like, I got an extra one of those. I'll send it to you. And unless Rachel's involved to tell me to do something, I forget.
Yeah.
It's when people will message me like a month after I tell them, like I'll send them a button. They're like, "Hey, did you send that button out?" And I was like, "No, just tell Rachel to remind me."
Yeah.
But anyway.
But yeah, so this year will be kind of a big year for The Secret, like with the Boston meetup and the cruise and my escapades with Montreal.
The documentary.
Documentary. I'm really stoked for that. That's going to be really cool. Because I think this documentary, like maybe I'm not reading it right, but this one compared to the James Renner that we watched, right? Like it feels like this one's going to be different and a little better. Like I don't think anyone's ever going to make a documentary that solves the puzzle, but
No.
I don't think that should be the point. Like I think James Renner in a lot of ways was trying to make that the point of that show, and it kind of bit him in the ass. But I think with this one, it's documenting one man's experience essentially within a community, and kind of based around the event of him finding a cask.
This one's not even about that. Like the problem with documentaries about The Secret is as soon as they're released, they're out of date. Because the puzzle's so fluid, like that was most of the laughing points that we had for the James Renner documentary. It was just like, okay, so that's wrong. We know that's wrong. And it's funny now how wrong it is. And like, it's like that with all the documentaries. Like, even if you watch the first episode of Expedition Unknown, right?
Yeah.
It's laughable because they're like, there's a cast buried in Roanoke, West Virginia, or Roanoke, Virginia, wherever the fuck the other Roanoke is, right? Like, no, it's Roanoke, North Carolina. Like,
yeah.
So if you make it about the search for a cask, it's outdated as soon as it's released. But this one isn't about that. This one's like, it almost seems to be like a hype film for the puzzle itself. Like, she doesn't care about how it's solved. She's like, she wants to get people excited about it as a whole, right? So there's no need to put stuff about like your ideas. There's no need to put stuff about how to interpret things. You just get people excited about the puzzle, then they jump in,
Yeah.
And then they find out all that stuff.
Are they going to go over Jason's experience with solving it? I'm not going to use the words his solved, but are they going to go over his, like, how he came to find that box?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they will, because there's a bunch of stories I know he wants to tell in the documentary. But I think Jason's thing is he wants to save his story for the meetup. And then after the meetup, he'll probably be pretty free to talk about it. Because he's just never talked about it before, so he wants to make that story kind of special for somebody. So whoever shows up, he makes it a little special for them. Now I'm putting words in his mouth. I don't know that for sure. But from the sound of it, that's what's going to happen.
Right. That's cool, man. I'm really excited for that.
So there's been questions. Rachel Malley wants us to talk about the Boston meetup, which I guess we did. I don't know what kind of questions. Are they filming any at the Boston meetup? Yes, they're filming at the Boston meetup. Will the meetup be videotaped? Probably not. Because Boston is outrageously expensive. I'm not even bringing a suitcase. Like, I'm traveling with a backpack. I'm basically flying with a carry-on, so I don't have room to bring camera gear. So I doubt it. I doubt Boston's going to be live streamed. I doubt it's going to be filmed at all, unless somebody else has a camera there live streaming it. So if one of the locals or somebody, live stream it. Yeah, if there's a local or somebody who's driving in who wants to like live stream it, that would be great. What were the other questions? Let me see. Videotaped. If a cask is found, do you have to reveal how you found it, or did that concept come from me? You don't have to say anything. You don't have to tell anybody it was found.
Nope.
Yeah, just do whatever you want.
Yep. Rebury it.
Yeah. Seriously, do whatever you want. But yeah, Boston, it'll be fun. Like I said, I'm traveling light, so this like, I'm not treating this like it's a meetup that I did because I didn't do it. I'm there because I was asked to be there. Right.
Who did it?
Jason. This was Jason's idea. 100% Jason's idea. Is live streaming invited, or is that a conflict with the film crew? I don't think she's going to care. I know she's not going to care if you live stream it.
No.
When is the Boston meetup?
June 23rd, isn't it?
24th, I think.
The 24th?
I think. Man, I should really just know these things. Especially since, like, I'm going to be there.
If it was June you 24th. Putting it on, you probably would.
Yeah, June 24th at Landgone Park.
Yeah.
Houston Dave said maybe bring my drone. Are you coming from Texas to Houston? Or from Houston to Boston? That's a long flight.
Yep.
So, yeah. I think Brody's got, so far, like, a decent amount of, like, nice members of the community are going to be there. Rachel's going to be there. Rachel Malley, not my Rachel. Apparently Dave is going to be there. Nick and Caroline are coming. Brody's coming. There's going to be a lot of people there.
That's sweet. And then what's going on with the cruise?
It's a cruise. Nothing's really changed. I think the documentary chick's going to come to that too. But I doubt she's going to be like, I think she's just going to get some B-roll or something.
Right.
HC going to be there. HC. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he's coming or not. It's the guy that posted on Reddit. kind of the same stuff that Jason had right around right before it was found.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
I
raining.
don't know if he's coming. I should ask.
I wonder if Adam Kaplan's gonna go.
It's a name I haven't heard in a while. He popped
Right.
up on Reddit again recently. He got banned pretty quickly.
Oh man.
Yeah. I didn't actually ban him this time. I didn't have to do it. He works really hard to be involved in all of our stuff for somebody who hates us.
Oh yeah, totally. Kim just alerted me that my vehicle windows are open, and it's definitely raining. So we're gonna go for a ride in Cole's truck.
Yay.
Remember those days, George, when I would podcast from the vehicle?
Yeah. That was a lot of
Those
fun.
were the days.
Probably hot.
It's a little humid. And it is definitely raining inside my vehicle.
I gotta get to Montreal. Maybe next year I'll come to Montreal. I've never been. And I think it's the only secret city I've never been to.
Sorry, you ever been to Canada?
I've never been to Canada.
Cool.
Mr. Underhill said the Green Tower of Lights is not the bridge. Yeah, I agree with you. It was the green pole with the stadium lights. Yes, I also agree with you. It's in the Boston painting. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I agree with you on the 2 of the 3 points.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I know you made a mini puzzle for the Masquerade Hunt this year, but are you working on any others? Nope. None beside the anniversary hunt.
You could always join Blue Sage.
You could always join Blue Sage.
Product placement.
I read a rumor about the construction crew coming to Boston too. I don't know. One of them is so the main guys from that construction crew were really only, from what I understand from them, they were really only on film because their company was it's free publicity, go and do this shit. And they don't really care anymore. I tried to get quotes from a bunch of them and they're like, dude, that was years ago and we're on to other projects and we don't even care.
Yeah.
They were like, here's some emails and that's it.
Well, at least they gave you some emails.
Yeah, that's how I got Krupat's initial email to all of them. They were like, here's all of our email chains. It's like, oh, sweet, thanks. That's really helpful. I don't need you anymore.
Yeah. Was there anything cool in them?
It was all of his ideas.
Oh.
It was exactly what he laid out to the crew. It was in the Boston video that I did. But I used it to illustrate how to write an email that's not crazy. Because it was very straightforward to the point. And it was just look out for this thing.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was good.
That's good.
Comments. Let me look. I gotta make comments bigger. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff with. I hope Jason talks a little more because there's a bunch of stuff that I really disagree with him on that I'd love to hash out. He still thinks Coliseum with metal walls is the ice skating rink behind the park because it has beside the park because it has metal walls, but that just doesn't make any fucking sense. It makes sense for Coliseum, but with metal walls, it could only be Ironsides. That is so freaking obvious.
Yeah,
it's right there. Come on, can't we say?
And that's
hey,
beautiful wordplay.
Yeah. Can't we be it's the Coliseum next to Ironsides? Can't we do that? Can't we agree?
Yeah.
Must we be looking for 10 walls?
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope he gives us the chance to just sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And I assume from what I understand, after we do whatever at the park, we're just gonna go find a bar and just sit, or a restaurant and have lunch or dinner or whatever, or drinks and just sit and chill out. So I assume it's gonna be a fun time for all.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. But anywho. So you're just gonna live stream from your truck?
Yeah, well, it's raining really hard right now.
Oh.
And I'm only in a t-shirt and shorts, so I don't want to go outside right now.
I get it.
Sorry. And I was feeling kind of nostalgic,
Yeah. No, it's cool. I'm not complaining.
This is where I got my origins. This is where I started it all.
So okay. So you want to talk about Blue Sage?
Yeah.
Blue? You're on puzzle 7.
Yeah, I've made 6 already. 6 is still active. Nobody's solved that one yet. And 5 had a time limit that ran out. And so now I'm on to 7.
So out of 7, how many have been solved?
4.
Okay. So
If we're
more than
including
half.
7. Yes.
Okay. More than half. That's good.
Yes.
Brian is very excited about 7.
A wonderful lady down in Texas won the very first one. And that's actually, so the very first one was buried just before COVID hit. And she won it, and it's still in the ground as far as we know. She never went to get it. I sent her the rest of the prize. Like, I sent her the art and a bunch of other little things. But the box that has the confirmation that you dug up the treasure is still in the ground. And then all the other ones were online kind of thing, and then you just had to kind of tell me where it was, and then if you were spot on. Actually, what was really cool though, so number 2 was in Cape May, New Jersey, and that one was kind of like tongue in cheek, right? Because
I have to
go ahead.
pause for a second. You can keep talking, but Lael's calling me, which is weird. So let me pause for a second.
Okay. Anyways, number 2 was in Cape May, New Jersey, and just this last year, a fellow by the name of Keith went there and sent me some photos of his time there. And they have a beer there that they make called Cape May Brewery or something like that, and that was really cool. And 3 was the one that Arthur worked on. 3, I brought in Arthur and Brody Leak, one of my good best buddies down in New Orleans, and they basically had full control over the creation of it. And I just sort of approved the final product, if you will. And then, and that one was really fun. Like, that's when I really got to see Arthur, for who he was at the time, because he was really, he was really into it. And it was, he helped create a really cool puzzle, in my opinion, despite the fact that it was solved so quickly. Like, that one was solved faster than any other one. And then 4, I don't quite remember what I did for 4. But 5 and 6 were both probably the most complex, 6 especially. It gives you everything you need right in front of you, but it is a very tricky puzzle to solve. And then I just got really excited to make this. I got a new video making app, and I got really excited about it. And that's when I got the idea for 7 to do, a video style puzzle for it. So, it's exciting, and I'm stoked to see kind of how people approach this one, because obviously the first 6 would have been kind of approached secret style, because they were, a location was required to be found. But 7 is a little different, because I've never told anyone what you're doing in it, but the only thing I've said is that it's not a location based puzzle, right? So it's quite a bit different, and I think it's going to be kind of the benchmark for any additional kind of alternative style puzzles, if you will, that I do in the future. So it's a lot of fun. It's been exciting to make them. I get to get really creative with art and audio and just puzzle making in general. And if anyone ever wants to join, just look up the group and ask to join. And as I said, you'll be lightly vetted, and then you can come in. Only the active puzzles are available on the page. The old ones I take down as we progress. If anybody really wants to see the really old ones and stuff, I have them all still, like, kind of, digital folder, if you will. But typically I'll take them down and just keep the ones that are active, right? You just go to the featured section of the page, and you'll often find the I often will post like kind of teaser clips and stuff like that. Sometimes those things contain clues. I will confirm that for you, but they're there, and I keep those for the puzzles that they're relevant to, right? And So, having said that, if anybody wants to check that out, just either PM me or join the group and play along. And I think George is back.
Yeah.
That's okay. I filled the airtime.
It was Brett's wife.
Oh, weird.
I was like, Brett's wife never calls me. I got to take this.
Yeah, that's a serious thing.
Yeah, it wasn't that
Shit's
serious.
okay? Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. They really, really, really want to play Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, what a fun game.
Yeah. So she was like, what do I need? I don't want to buy a PlayStation 5. I was like, well, I'll just send you I got extra PlayStation 4s. I was like, I'll just send you one.
You can get an emulator on your tablet or your cell phone and play it on there.
Simon's like, is Brett okay? Yeah, he's playing Crash Bandicoot right now.
How can you not be okay playing Crash Bandicoot? Okay, it stopped raining now. I'm going to go back to my deck. But, yeah, I basically explained everything I wanted to explain about Blue Sage while you were gone.
Okay.
So, I mean, we can probably call her if you want.
I mean, we can keep talking. It's fine. People keep asking about Boston. I need tips, man. I'm hoping somebody that's local to Boston will, like, show me around. Because I don't know anything about Boston, right? Like, I don't know where to eat. Yeah. I don't know where to do. I don't know anything cool. I know, like, we're getting in Friday. I'm supposed to have dinner with Brody. Then Saturday's the meetup. And then Sunday and part of Monday, I got nothing to do. Destiny wanted to see, like, the historic stuff. Yeah. Destiny's coming with me. Right. Like, I don't know. I'm hoping I can find a local who will be like, George, go do these things. Yeah. Got to get some good Italian food in you, right? I always go for the food. Anytime, like, that's the first thing I do when I go to somewhere I've never been is, like, what's the sweetest place to go eat? Like, I'm kind of like I'm an Anthony Bourdain in that sense. Destiny asked me, she was like, Chicago's known for Chicago dogs. New York's known for its pizza. She's like, what's Boston known for? I was like, baked beans. She's like, well, I don't want to eat baked beans. I was like, well, you're going to eat some beans. I would have thought Chicago was known for its pizza. Because that's the first thing I want to eat. Deep dish pizza sucks. And people from Chicago don't eat deep dish pizza. Oh, okay. It's just for tourists. I feel it. Rachel's free. We'll go with Rachel. I guess that's kind of like cheese fries here. Like, I don't like to say the actual name of it with the cheese and the fries and the gravy. Yes. But that shit sounds so good. We don't eat a lot of that here, but I mean, I don't. We have poutineries, like restaurants that only make that in several different ways. Like, you can get all kinds of shit on it. But do you guys have a restaurant down there called the Tubby Dog? No. No. So in Calgary, there's this joint called the Tubby Dog, and I always thought they were like a super big franchise, but maybe they're not. But you can go there and they give you a hot dog, right? It's a hot dog joint. And you can get stuff like Captain Crunch and chili and friggin' like Fruity Pebbles, I know is another thing you can get on there. Like, it's a build your own hot dog kind of joint. And they're pretty dynamite. And you can drink Pilsner there. The only alcohol they serve at that place is Pilsner beer. To put Captain Crunch on your hot dogs? Yeah. I don't know, man. Y'all put hot dogs in craft dinner? Yeah. Yeah, that's like a comfort food for kids. I mean, and then, of course, beanie weenies. Yeah. Y'all do beanie weenies down there? Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I grew up really poor. So when we, like, normal meals for us were shit like Hamburger Helper. I don't know. I'm sure you know Hamburger Helper. Oh, yeah. Like, we ate that shit 5 days a week. But then sometimes my parents would get, like, Kraft shells and cheese. I just put hamburger in it. And that was like, we were eating well that night. That was the good night. Yeah. Yeah. If there was onions in it, it was special. Yeah. My mom used to make this shit called goulash. And it was the grossest thing I had ever eaten until I watched, I realized what was going on. I watched a YouTube video of somebody making goulash. And I was like, this is not what I had when I was a kid. Like, this shit looks good. But when my mom made goulash, what she would do is she would just go into our pantry and whatever canned foods we had, she would empty it into a pot and put pasta and tomato sauce in it. And it was the grossest. Yeah, no, it was gross. It was horrible. Like corn and peas. It was gross. So, no, man. Goulash has like 4 ingredients. That's wild, man.
My mother was a hell of a cook. That's how I learned how to cook. But she would she was the type of lady you could fucking she would own Chopped, that show, Chopped, right? Like you
Yeah.
could put anything in front of her, pick 4 of anything, like one ingredient from each category, right? Meat, starch, and all that. And she'd make the most incredible thing you could imagine. And just like off the top of her head. It's just
See,
what she did.
I never had a good relationship with my mom. Like we've never been close. So, it was my dad that didn't my mom was around and occasionally she would cook or whatever, but it was mainly me and my dad. My dad was a really, really good cook, but he could only cook like 4 things.
Oh.
So it was like we were having
And
burgers.
3 of them were meats.
Yeah, they were all meat. They were like we were having burgers, we were having steak, we were having potatoes, and then he would be like he'd get on this kick to where he would eventually he started like watching the Food Network and learning how to cook, and his food was really, really good. But before that, he was like, I want to be experimental, and we're going to cook spaghetti in the frying pan. And he made this shit called fried spaghetti. It was the grossest thing I've ever eaten.
Yeah, that doesn't sound appealing at all. They probably don't sell that in Boston. So when you go to the meetup, we're gonna bring this back to the meetup. When you go to the meetup, don't ask for fried spaghetti.
No. Fuck, stories about being poor are always fun.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay. So yeah, hopefully Boston. I'm sure Boston will be great. I just don't.
Yeah,
know.
it sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Everybody live stream it. I don't care who. Somebody live stream that shit because I want to watch it.
Somebody's gonna need to. I can't
And shout
like,
obscenities on my TV screen.
I'm bringing like I can fit 2 or 3 pairs of clothes in my bag, and I got an Airbnb with a washer and dryer, and that's about like I can't bring anything else.
Nice. How long are you staying there?
4 days. We get in Friday and we leave Monday.
Yeah, that's not bad.
No, that's gonna be fun. And then the cruise, like I'm really looking forward to the cruise. And then I got a bunch of stuff going on that's like me and this other secret hunter are gonna go to. You know who NoFX is?
Yep.
NoFX has their last concert. Their last concert ever is gonna be in Florida, so we're gonna go to that.
Nice. Cool, man.
It's a whole bunch of bands. It's like NoFX, Circle Jerks, The Adolescents, Bad Cop. Who else is going to be there? The Descendants.
Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
No, they're not going to be there.
I like those guys.
I don't
Their
think
cover of Suffragette City is really good.
It didn't. Wasn't Tony Sly in Me First and the Gimme Gimmes? Like he died. I haven't put out a new album in a while. Like that was Tony Sly was their lead singer, right?
Yeah. Yep. No, I haven't heard anything new from them in a lot of years. But anyways, I should probably go feed my family dinner and put my children to bed.
Okay, we can end Sunday Fun Day. That's fine. That'll be a quick one.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yep. I'll hang out here just in case anybody has questions, but I'll talk to you soon, man.
Okay, buddy. Be well. Bye, everyone.
Have a good night.
You too. Oh, I don't know how to do this. There we go.
That's fine. There we go.
Recording.
Yay. Fun. Sunday Fun Day is almost over. Government cheese was the bomb. Oh God, dude. So we had a garage. My dad was a car guy and a motorcycle guy. He was a biker, so we always had a garage. And we always had this deep freezer and a fridge in our garage where we would put spare or whatever. And my dad came home once with boxes and boxes and boxes of cheese, like huge boxes of unsliced, hard, like cheddar cheese. And all he ever told me was it fell off a truck. There was a lot of things in my house that fell off a truck growing up. And like we ate that shit for like 2 years. It was supposed to be really good cheese, but by the end of it, it was like, oh God, I'm so tired of this cheese. Anyway, I guess Sunday Fun Day will end shortly unless anyone has any questions. Is there a hotel everyone's staying at? In Boston, I got an Airbnb. Everything's just so expensive in Boston. I think everybody's staying wherever they can find. There's a bunch of people staying on the West End. It seems like the shit near MIT, the area near MIT is the cheapest for Airbnbs and for hotels. Yeah. Yeah. So I know a lot of people that are staying out there. I'm staying in the north end. I'm like two or three. I got really lucky because I booked early. I'm staying a couple of blocks from the park, so I can just walk everywhere. Hidden images in the new JJ painting Murtaugh. Anyone else? No. So here's the thing. Like, people see hints for the secret in John's art, but like, I guess I could. There's definitely similarities because the same painter made these two pieces of art. But John's very respectful of his art and his jobs, and there is no way John would show disrespect to one customer by including elements from another customer in their art. There's just no way he would do that. Personal art is a little different. Art that John just makes for himself is a little different. But illustrative art, there's no way he would do that. Just no way. I don't think. I mean, like, knowing him as well as I do, which, I mean, like, I'm not his dad or anything, you know what I'm saying? But there's just no way he would show that. He would think that's disrespectful to the person who's paying him to illustrate. Plus, he's got such a there's so much tied into Aragon and that whole series for him that no, there's no way. But I mean, there's definitely stuff hidden in it because he hides shit in all of his art. Like, he hides little Easter eggs and stuff. So yeah. Is Weston Park within walking distance? I don't know. A lot of people take a train in, yeah. And a lot of people are like coming in from New York. Like, a lot of New York people are driving in, so they're like driving in that morning and then driving out that evening. So there it is. And then the cruise, because Cole asked about it, nothing's really changed with it. Like, book if you want to book, talk to Natalie Kroll. Sometimes the closer you get, the cheaper tickets are. You can check with her. I don't think it's sold out. I think certain rooms are sold out, but not all of them. Yeah. Anything else before I go? Anything at all? I'm going to take Rachel Malley up on her offer to hang out with me in Boston because I don't have any friends there. Nothing else? Just give it like a minute because of the delay. And then I'm going to go and eat food because I'm hungry. All right. Have a good night. Have a good Memorial Day. I don't know if there are any soldiers in your life who have passed away. There's a couple in mine. Very, very good friend of mine, his name John Parker, was murdered. I mean, he had left the Marines when this happened, but he was going to school to be a forest ranger in Gainesville, and he and a girl, one of his classmates, had a camping trip with just a whole bunch of people from their class out of this place called Hidden Pond in Ocala National Forest, and he and Amber went, and some guy was out there and murdered them. So I always sort of try to keep John in my mind. So, like, I got a lot of friends named John that have died during Memorial Day. So if you have any soldiers in your life who have passed away, maybe, take some time tomorrow to think about them. Have a happy Memorial Day. See you again soon. This is the last Sunday Fun Day that's booked for a really long time. So if anybody wants another Sunday Fun Day, let me know and come on and we'll talk about some stuff.